offensive coordinator Drew Hollingshead. We're just going to jump right into questions. Jeff, you want to start us off?
Sure. Drew, just a chance to look at the tape. Your thoughts after that?
Yeah, I thought, it went initially kind of how we expected it to go. It's a brand new team out there. Really, really well-coached defense. Gave us some different looks early on in the game. I thought we started a little slow. A couple drop passes kind of hurt us at the beginning, but once we kind of, stood our ground, with the initial force that they had, especially with offense and defense being the way they played and their tempo, and we kind of settled into the game, thought they played really, really well, especially in the second half, and to tie it going into halftime. So really proud of the guys, the way they fought, and a bunch of those skill guys stepping up, making plays later in the second half. Really proud of them, and again, coming away with the W against a team like that. It's hard to do, hard to win in college football, and just excited about the way they played.
Is that a concern going forward of potential slow starts? Is that something that you would address, or do you attribute it to the season opener?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. You try to come away with some points for them as far as like, hey, here's what we need to do better to avoid slow starts. But game one is always kind of a toss-up. You never know what to expect, and especially with a team like that, really, really good coaches on both sides of the football, and they got the ball first, kind of took it down, and we had to respond and had some mistakes early. But, like I said, once we settled in, I thought we played well and did some really good things.
What were your thoughts on the run game on Saturday?
Early I thought we, like Coach said, we were fitting it up well. We just weren't getting a ton of push against a big physical, D-line. But I thought as the game went on and the tempo that we played with, I thought, still fitting it up, and we busted some big ones towards the end there. Austin, couple explosive runs getting out of the pocket, I think, helped. But, we had over 470 yards of total offense. We threw for 330 and ran for 120. That's a pretty explosive day for us, and if we can have that kind of balance, I think that's important. But you'd like to see it materialize a little earlier to help you in the pass game. But obviously things we need to work on in every phase of the game offensively. So, we'll watch the tape and get better.
How much of the game plan changed once you knew Mountain High was going to be out?
Not a ton. We tried to get him the ball early. I think he touched it 5 or 6 times within the first 10 plays, which is, kind of the game plan for him. He needs to touch it early and be a factor early, like he had the big 40-yarder there early in the game and touched it 2 more times after that. Big third down conversion there in the red zone. But like Coach said, we've got a lot of depth at receiver. So when a guy goes down, it's next man up mentality, and I thought those young receivers actually stepped up and played really well. I'm thinking about KD and Easton, and Dalvin played a big part of that. He's been around for a while, but Musa Berry and some of our new transfer guys played really well down the stretch. So it doesn't change anything we do offensively. We just got to step up and expect the ball to come to us and make plays when it does,
Do you feel like you guys kind of wore them out as the game went along, too, a little bit?
I'd like to think so. It was a frenetic pace. That's 2 teams that play with a lot of tempo, and, I think, it's kind of funny because we were talking about the clock rules changing college football a little bit. I think within the first weekend, I think the average plays played by an offense was like 64. We played like 81 total. They played like 91 total. So it didn't feel like the game had changed very much. But, we knew that going in, that it was going to be a long game with a lot of plays, and we had to withstand the barrage early, offensively and defensively, and I think our team did. And, as the game went on, I think we kind of outlasted them, and, that's what we expect. We expect to play harder for longer and come out on the right side of things.
How do you see Austin's role? I don't know if increasing is the right word, but to magnify his senior year, what he got from last year to now.
Yeah, I think, his role magnifying, I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but getting better within the offense, right? I think him understanding what we want to do, what we want to accomplish, he has free reign to check plays at the line of scrimmage and get us out of bad looks if we have them, and get us into good looks. And I think there was a couple times Saturday where he did that, and the scrambles are timely. I think of the 2 explosive runs plus the 1 touchdown, I think were huge. and then some of the throws he made that were off schedule, I think, that helps. And I think that comes along with just experience and seeing the offense and kind of, figuring it out along the way. But guys played a lot of college football, and that's hard to buy some of that experience,
Was 39 a designed run, or was he audible anyway? Or did he?
The 3rd and 9 one?
Yeah.
I think it was just he got out of there and made a play, and
He was a designed run, or?
No. Yeah, he was just making a play on that one. So, that'll happen sometimes. Defenses will catch you when you're least expecting them, and quarterback's got to find a way to make a play, and he did.
Tyson seemed pretty optimistic that Malachi at least has a chance to play this week. If not, who would sort of slide into that role?
We got a bunch of guys that could slide in there. I think the good thing about our offense and how multiple we are with a lot of our skill guys, we can switch them and move them around to different positions. I think of a guy like Dalvin, played outside receivers, played inside receivers, played tight end within his career. So when you have guys like that you can move and slide around, I think it's an advantage offense, because now you're not keying a specific side of where a guy could be. So we got a ton of different guys that could slide into different positions, but we're expecting Malachi to be good and be out there ready to play.
When you're dealing with injuries like that to your number 1, number 2 receiver out there, most teams that would be a detriment to them completely, but this receiver depth really stepped up in the game on Saturday. You talk about how about that depth and how they were able to stay locked in and not get a little dysfunctional when you have your top 2 guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a credit to our program and how Coach Helton wants to see us play football. And we've recruited some really, really good players here, especially at the skill position. And the thing that I was most proud of our guys for when we went down early and kind of a slow start, I looked in their eyes and they didn't blink. They knew we were going to figure it out. We knew we were going to overcome some of those mental mistakes early and some of those drops. And when we did, we had some really, really explosive plays, and a lot of them came in the pass game. So, proud of the way they played. And to answer your question, I think a lot of those guys, especially the ones that hadn't played very much early in their careers, when they stepped out on that field on Saturday, they expected the ball to come to them and expected to make plays, and I'm proud that they did.
Houston Christian defensively opens with a shutout against an NAIA program. What have you seen of them that they do well? What would concern you about them defensively?
I got a lot of respect for those coaches over there, a bunch of, Texas guys. I'm from Texas, so got some relationships with them, know the defensive coordinator really well. Worked with my father at SMU, so just based off the tape initially, I think they present you with a lot of different looks in the back end. Try to play sound football in the back end, so you're not going to catch them sleeping very often. But, again, playing sound football defensively and just playing really hard, I think they've got those guys flying around the football. You saw that with the shutout, first of all, and, a defense that plays with a lot of confidence goes a long way. So we're going to have to be screwed in, have our jaw set, ready to go, because it's going to be another battle, and we got to clean up some stuff on our end. So.
Speaking of defense, USF, their secondary, they played really well, stayed connected. When it comes to creating that separation, it was kind of hard at times for offense to get that going. But when you're in the game and you're playing against the defense with a good secondary, how you go about attacking that defense and trying to find the weaknesses when they have a good secondary.
Right. Yeah. No, it's that defense is they're going to be pretty good all season. They got long DBs that can run. They're physical. Long D linemen that are strong at the point of attack. Early on, we had some ideas of kind of taking shots on them, and we tried and missed, but we stayed the course, stayed with the game plan, and ended up hitting them on some big ones there late, in the second half. I think of the one to Musa, hit him with a double move. We had run into a couple stops on him and came back, hit him with a double move, and it just things like that, You never want to stray too far for what your game plan is, but within the game, trying to make those adjustments and trying to figure out where you can hit them, that's always really important for us and our offensive staff. But again, credit to them. They got a really, really good football team over there, and you're going to look up here down the line 6-7 weeks, and they'll be playing pretty well, I'm sure.
How important is it to open at home, and just with the crowd atmosphere, how important is that for the guys if they have that slow start again?
Really, really important. Again, I thought the crowd had a big hand in the rally late there in the first half, and then into the second half, playing a lot better. When those guys can come out there, feel the support and feel the energy, it becomes palpable, and I think you felt that from not only our offense but our defense as well. When the crowd gets behind them, they want to step up and make plays and play really well in front of our crowd. So, excited that the fan support was there and excited that we could put a good product out on the field and come away with a big win.
Obviously, rush for over 120 yards, but like the running back by committee thing, you got KD, you got Marquise, and you got Davion here, they all bring something different to when it comes to the run game. How do you go about that whole running back by committee thing and attacking that as you guys do?
Yeah, I think we have 4 really good backs. I think it's tough because what we do offensively, we try to maximize the amount of touches we get from guys like, I looked at it yesterday, but I think 10 guys caught the football. 10 different receivers caught a ball this past Saturday, and there were some of them were our backs. But when we can spread the football around, I think that makes us even more dangerous. But we've got 4 really good backs that change the pace within who they are. I think Marquise is a big bruising guy. You saw that one run towards the end of the game where he finished on the safety and was an explosive run. And you got LT Sanders, you got Derv, who's a really steady guy, really good in pass protection, really good with the ball in his hands. And then you got Elijah Young, who's explosive and can break one at any moment. So not only maximizing the touches you can get in the pass game with those receivers, but try to get the ball in the running back's hands. Having the change of pace guys, I think, helps and keeps defenses on their toes.
Musa Berry, I just want to ask you about him. Now, he's one that a later transfer that you guys picked up. Didn't really have much in the way of stats at Mars Hill. How did you identify him as someone to bring aboard? Did you recruit him out of high school, or at least through the staff?
Yeah, I think there was a little connection through Coach Langford, who played at Decula High School, and that's where Moose is from. So we try to keep it all in the family around here, and his name got brought up. We watched the high school film, really impressive as a high school prospect, and maybe overshadowed a little bit. He plays in a really, really good area in Georgia with a bunch of really good prospects. So, maybe overshadowed a little bit coming out of recruiting. Again, played a little bit at Mars Hill, wanted to change. But the most impressive thing I think about Musa, when he came in, he's one of the hardest workers we have on the team. Just about an hour ago, he's outside working releases, running routes, trying to get better every single day. And I think our guys see that, and I think it becomes a good thing for our team, seeing guys like that who work their butts off to try to get better every single day. And, I'm really proud of him and the way he stepped up. And, it's really cool to see your first catch and really for our team go for a touchdown like that. So to see it pay off in that way, I think is good, and I think he's going to help the room tremendously as we go down the road here.
Is he scholarship or a walk-on?
He's walk-on. Yep.